And welcome back to All Over the Map. Thanks for tuning in. On this episode, we've got a new type of game and video, and that's called News of the Day. I guess this is for February 7th, 2022, or the 7th of February, 2022, wherever you are in the world. Greetings, and thought I would try a new type of game that I created myself. We'll feature several news articles, about 5 to 6. And we'll get through it. So we'll go through the GeoGuessr game, find the location, and then go through the news article. And I'll have the links to the news articles in the description below. Also, I felt like to do this, being an American, there's a lot of folks in America that when you say Ukraine or Russia, they don't know where it is, right? So one of the things with this game is to get people interested in the game of GeoGuessr, interested into the news, and interested in finding out where a lot of these places are, and also bringing some new funny and quirky stories too as well. Again, this is a test. I wanted to see how the response is for you out there that are watching this and support All Over the Map. And with that said, we'll do this game, News of the Day, as a no time limit challenge, moving, panning, zooming allowed. And yes, we're going to invite you to play along as well to see your knowledge of the news of the day and where these news events are occurring. So without further ado, let's get into it. Also the link to the play along is in the description below. And the first news event of the day is the bridge that Jeff Bezos wants to bring his yacht down and take this bridge down. So let's find out. Let's go first to the actual location. And I believe this is in Rotterdam, if I've got my bearings straight. And it is the King. We'll go to the news article in a minute, and I believe, where is it? Erasmus. Where's this bridge that he wants to bring this down? Oh, that's right. It's the Koningsbrug. Koningsbrug. I think we're here looking at it. And let's take a quick look at the article here. The yacht reportedly built for Bezos, too big for Dutch bridge. So there we are there. There's buildings in the background, Rotterdam. And what was interesting is a $500 million yacht reportedly being built for Amazon founder Jeff Bezos faces a delivery problem. It may require dismantling a beloved historic bridge in Rotterdam that is blocking its passage to sea. The other thing I thought was interesting is on Facebook, locals are proposing to pelt the yacht with rotten eggs when it passes through. So Rotterdam residents concerned. I'm concerned. Again, I'm not going to offer any political commentary on this, but nonetheless, this is interesting because when you say Rotterdam, you say, from the United States, where is this? Listen, most people probably couldn't tell you. They could tell you that it's probably the Netherlands, but again, this is where we are in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Let's take a guess for that, and there we are, 13 yards, 5,000 points. Hopefully you got that one right. Let's go to the next news article of the day. So we are. All right, so we got the African Confederation of Nations Cup final with Sadio Mane describing his Senegal victory as the best day and best trophy of his life. So winning their first African Cup of Nations, the game ended 0-0 after extra time. And going against his teammate in Mohamed Salah. I was just thinking about somebody else there. But nonetheless, a good win there for Senegal. Let's go back and take a look at the stadium here. This is in Cameroon. The host city was Yaoundé. And I believe it was outside here, the stadium, which was Paul Biya Stadium Olembe. I believe this is a new stadium that was just built. Fairly nice stadium, all told. Very nice stadium. And yes, Senegal with the victory in the final over Egypt. So we'll click that one, and we got 52 yards. We were in the stadium. It's always interesting. And there we are. So there's your sport for the day. All right, so this is an this is an interesting one. So we go from Cameroon up to England, and we've got Ye Olde Fighting Cocks. And I saw this article. I thought this was pretty interesting. We're here, obviously, in England, and this pub is more than 1,000 years old, and it's closing its doors because of coronavirus. So through all the history in England, through all the stuff that's been going on just north of London and St. Albans, Ye Olde Fighting Cocks, the English pub that claims to be the oldest in Britain, is closing due to financial problems. That, to me, it's like, there's the pub in Dublin that Robin Hood, I think, frequented. I think it's Brazen Head or something like that. These things, they've got to continue, right? Like, I'm all about tradition and history, but the owner or landlord, Christo Tofali, posted on the Facebook page on Friday that they're closing, that they've tried everything to keep the pub going. Over the past 2 years have been unprecedented for the hospitality industry and defeated us all who have been trying our hardest to ensure this multi-award winning pub could continue trading into the future. This is tough. I mean, I know coronavirus has been tough on a lot of people in many different ways, this being one of them. And this is another interesting statistic. Before coronavirus, 11,000 pubs have closed their doors between 2008 and 2018. But Ye Olde Fighting Cocks was built in the 11th century and was used as a pigeon house. And Oliver Cromwell reportedly slept there one night in the English Civil War. So English Civil War couldn't stop this, but coronavirus did. Ye Olde Fighting Cocks fought for the last time, and unfortunately they came up short, which is sad. And we were there on Abbey Mill Lane. And let's go to London, England. Not sure where St. Albans is. Maybe you'd know. It's funny when you do come up with the name and do these games. I'm not sure where this is. And I'm not going to waste too much time on this. Here's St. Albans. There it is. Where was Ye Olde? I think it was... Not sure where it is. Hopefully you got this right. But for the sake of time, I'm going to guess there. And we were 806 yards away. There at Ye Olde Fighting Cocks near the Roman wall of St. Albans. That's just, again, I see stuff closing like that. The Roman city walls. Tough, tough, tough. All right, so we're going to get off to the next round. And we've got... What is this? Yes, our Finnish supporters of the channel probably know this as Helsinki. So yes, Helsinki, Finland made the news of the day on this channel. 5 news articles of the day. Because summer streets are planned for city center in Helsinki. And what's interesting about this is, again, we're coming off of coronavirus, coming out of it, hopefully. And what's unique about it is, obviously, we saw Ye Olde Fighting Cocks going out of business. Is what in Finland they're trying to do is bring vibrancy back to the summer streets in the city of Helsinki. Entrepreneurs, businesses, events, bring people back to the city in the streets of Kartinkaupunki. The summer streets will create a pleasant area for walking from the beginning of June to the end of August. That's the other good thing, too, is that many people can get out and about and move to go to the restaurants. And, it's going to create a uniform walking network from Kartinkaupunki to Ulanliina. And the route, this is going to be great. And summer streets will add to the appeal and vitality of the area. I'm not going to read through this whole article because that's not the point of this, but give you the ability to click on some of these and read some of this stuff. You might not have known this. And lessons learned from last summer requests will be utilized when planning summer streets. So, it's great for the city of Helsinki. Residents and entrepreneurs in the area are invited to participate in interaction events. So great stuff there by the City of Helsinki Urban Environment Division. So let's go to Helsinki, find out where this is, right? I think we know where that is. Gave you some clues that you might not know. And again, the part of this is to discover, there's the Google car, is to discover these news events. This, again, is the first video. And my point in doing this is, maybe we do go to Ukraine or the Ukrainian-Russian border. Is that interest you? Or do the funny news stories interest you? Do the main news stories interest you? Primarily, I do this because, I see my kids learning about the news, learning about geography, but sometimes they don't know where the actual news events are occurring. So this one might not be the biggest news event, but thought that I saw this as an article, I think, the Helsinki Times, and thought, hey, what a great way to, have a good summer in the city of Helsinki. And what way to encourage people to get out and about, get some green areas, get some business, some tourism, etc. I think we were, where were we? Kartin Kaupunki. I think we were around here. And it's interesting. Yes, we got Ravintola. Yes. Haru plus sushi. And we're down the street from the Cock. So there we are. Let's go there. And we were 5,000 points, 75 yards. So there we are. News of the day. Round number 5. We go off to the United States. And there were, this is Lake Erie. Miller ferries to Put-in Bay and Middle Bass. This is the Middle Ferry. You can take a ferry out to the island in the middle of Lake Erie. Bus drop off in the state of Ohio, Ohio. And let's go to that news article. And we've got a CNN news article about 18 people, if I get the diamonds out of the way, 18 people were rescued from an ice floe that separated from the land near Catawba Island in Lake Erie, the U.S. Coast Guard said Sunday. A sheet of floating ice broke away while individuals were snowmobiling. So let's take a look at this. Here is Lake Erie, a satellite image. This is the entire Lake Erie, I believe, what looks like here. And I guess Catawba Island's somewhere, I guess, down here. Let's take a look at more pictures. Authorities use a Coast Guard Station Marblehead airboat and an Air Station Detroit helicopter to rescue the stranded group, the Coast Guard said earlier in a tweet. A Good Samaritan with an airboat also assisted in the operation. So always be careful when you go on the ice. And let's take a look at this. Let's look this up. So we got Catawba Island in Ohio. Here's Lake Erie. And Catawba, I believe, is north of Sandusky? Yes, it is. Here's Catawba Island, which looks like it's connected to the main part of Ohio, but we're here at Catawba, Miller Ferry. And my guess is, if you see this, is they were probably snowmobiling out to South Bass Island. Let's go back to that article. Does it say anything about where they were going? It didn't. That's whether you're urged to stay off the ice of Lake Erie, as the possibility that ice will drift away from the shore. So it's been a cold, I live in this part of the world, it's been definitely a cold, fairly cold past 4 to 6 weeks. A lot of ice all over the place in this part of the world. But again, if you look at this, they're probably going out to one of these islands out here. Pelee Island is actually in Canada, so this is the Canadian-U.S. border. And I think in this game we were at Catawba Island, which is said on the news article from CNN, and I'm going to guess what we're there, and that's where we were. So a grand total of 24,996. Again, the news articles will be in the comments, in the description below. This is a little bit of a new concept for me. I'm thinking about doing this on a daily basis. Maybe feature articles from your country. Maybe I'll go up to 10 articles. Right now, just doing 5, pretty, I guess, non-important articles. Jeff Bezos yachts in Netherlands to Helsinki summer nights or summer days in the city to the Old Fighting Cock pub in the closing its doors in the United Kingdom, to Sadio Mane beating his fellow Liverpool star Mohamed Salah in the final of the African Cup, and the 18 people that were definitely helped out, needless to say, in Lake Erie. That could have been very bad. So this is about you. News of the day, a different concept, different type of game that I have not seen on GeoGuessr. I don't know how this will play out, if people like this or not. You can comment if you like it. You can comment if you want more news. But I felt like, again, going back to this is primarily for folks that want to find out about the news, want to have fun playing GeoGuessr, and want to learn, where is this happening? This news event is happening where? I could go down the avenue of the Ukraine-Russia situation. I could go down to the cyclone down in Malawi, to the Canadian truckers in Ottawa, because people are like, well, where's the truckers? Where are those people? Where's Ottawa? Right? And a lot of times on the news, I don't know where you're watching this, but in the United States, and oftentimes you see on CNN or any of the major news networks, they don't necessarily, they might throw up a map for 5 seconds, but that's about it. And when people start to learn about other countries, other cultures, and about the geography, I always feel like people can get along. So that's the primary gist of this news of the day, and having some fun playing GeoGuessr as well. So if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If not, hey, comment down below. If you don't like this, say, hey, I don't want you to do this. That's just as fine as well. I just hope you have enjoyed this content. Hope you learned something, and hopefully you had some fun playing the game, learning where some of these events of the world, news of the day, happening. With that said, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, cheers.